Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Let's Make a Planner. We're on part 6. We're getting ready to go over to Keynote, but right now we just have this flat shape for the cover because quite honestly, I didn't know how to make the cover look like leather. But I just spent some time on YouTube and playing around in Procreate and I figured it out. I used to do it in Photoshop, so I kind of started with the same process that I did there and just figured out a way to make it work in Procreate. So here we are in Vectornator. The only thing we have visible is the cover shape and the background, but we're going to turn the background off. And then up here on the left, this is the share icon, and say export PNG. Just hit save and send it to Procreate. Now I'll go to Procreate. You'll see I've been playing around with this already, so I have several. And here we are. It brings it in on top of a background layer of white. So there it is. So the first thing we want to do is bring in the leather texture. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to the original post on Let's Make a Planner and scroll down. I posted a picture of the one that I'm using, but then I actually found the link where you can download probably a much better quality version than just swiping the picture from the post. So hopefully you have that downloaded and ready to go. If not, stop the video, go get it, put it in a place you can find it. For me, I'm going to go to the wrench tool here in Procreate and insert a file. If it were on my camera roll, I could say insert a photo, but since I have it on Dropbox, I have to call it a file. And it's right there. And it brings it in. Now this is a very large image, so if you look at it, especially probably through the camera, it doesn't look like there's any texture whatsoever, but there is. So I'm going to blow it up. I'm sure you still can't even see that, but I can now see some texture, and we're going to bring that texture out a little bit more in a couple of steps. But for right now, that's going to work for me, and I'll turn off this transform, and you'll see we have it above. So first thing you want to do is you want to make this a clipping mask. So now it's got the shape and size of our cover. Now go ahead and make 4 new layers. And come here to your cover, select so you have the size. Come here, get white, and come back to the bottom one and fill layer. Because you had selected the size and shape there, it did it automatically. Now come 2 up. Oh, you have to go back and select it again. Come here, select. Come up there. This time grab black. These are going to be the highlights and shadows to make it look more 3-dimensional. Come back here, fill layer. Now these 2 are going to end up being deleted, so let's just make them some sort of bright color. Again, select the size and shape from here, come to here, and I was just using this bright green, and fill layer. And you see we have it. And same thing, select, fill layer. Okay, so let's hide what we're using for the black and first work on the white. Or zoom out a bit. Now, to create highlights and shadows, you have to decide where your light source is. So I'm just looking at my screen right now, and mine's coming from here. So I want the light here, and then the dark here. That's going to be my direction. So come over to this green that's above that white, select, go to this, what is this called? Transform, move, whatever. And you're going to tap the screen to move it. It's on uniform, so it should just go down and to the right however many times you tap. And from doing it a few times, I picked 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's click off of that. And if you look, now we just have that white border. So come to this, select this green, and go down to your white and hit clear. Now you can delete this layer. If you turn this off, you see all you have is that little bit of white. Now we're going to do the same thing with the black. So let's turn both of those on. Come here to select. And this time we want to move it up this way because we want the black down here. So touch this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come to here, select, go to the black layer, clear. Delete the green. Put the white back on, put that image back on. Okay, so what we're seeing is we have this texture that we can barely see over top of our cover, which that's hidden. So we're going to have to use a blend mode to let that texture shine through, but still get this color. So you can play around with what some of these do. I ended up liking luminosity the best. And see, the color is very pale pink, but you can see the texture. So come up here and to curves. And now in curves, just want to start dragging this around until you get a kind of color you like. Now it won't be exactly your color, because imagine if it was really leather, that's an organic material, so it's going to have gradations, but I just want to be able to see the texture. Okay, I'm okay with that. Now we need to blur out these highlights and shadows. And so I'm going to turn the white back on to see it better. I'm not really even taking the time to label these layers because this is all it is. Come up here, Gaussian blur. And let's slide it till it looks, see how it just is starting to look a little bit more three-dimensional. So find your sweet spot. I'm liking it about 8. Now come over and it's the same thing with the black. Drag. What did I just do? Oh, I picked the brush. Duh. Okay, Gaussian blur. Am I on the black? I'm on the black. And did I do it again? I did it again. Gaussian blur. And now slide. This one I like up a little bit more than the white. That looks about good to me. Around 10, maybe a little less. Click off of that. And there you have it. Make sure you turn the background color off. Go to the wrench, copy canvas, and back to Vectornator we go. It's going to come in back where we were. We're done with this panel. Click out of this. We'll need a new tab, a new layer. So let's go above where the cover shape was. Cover shape, this one. And we'll call this open cover. here. No. Now I forget where it is. Open cover. Oh, I know. Open cover. I don't know how, but I just started clicking around. What I want to find is this clipboard. And there you have it. So this cover shape, I don't like to throw anything out, but I'll just put it down here underneath background. Lock that. And then the other thing I like is the stitching. I think that looks cute. So let's make some stitching. First things first, check how big your cover shape was. So come down here and then go to the arrange, and mine was 2532 by 1660. So let's get back to the open cover. Let's make a new layer, call it stitching. And let's get a rectangular shape. And the fill we want is no fill. And the stroke we want something kind of chunky, I think. Let's try 5. And down here, these things are what give you a dotted line instead of a solid line. So I think I did 20 and that was pretty good. Let's try that. And now let's drag out our rectangle. Oh, wait. Okay, get off of that stroke. I want white. I don't want that shape. Okay, let's make sure we're on stitching on that, and let's draw out a shape. Let's go into this panel so we can just plug in, make sure this is off, so we can just plug in what we know we want. So mine was 2532 by 1660. So I want to make that 50 less. So that means mine is 2482 by 1610. Come up here and get it where it needs to be. Okay, cute. Let's go back and select that again, and we'll round those corners to match the planner a little bit better. So in corner radius, I did 50 and I liked that. So there you go. Phew. That was not as hard as I thought it was going to be. Okay, last thing while we're here, let's just put a little shadow, not under the stitching. Let's go back to the open cover and let's put a little shadow. Why not? Now, since the light source was this, we want the same thing for the shadow. Where did it go? Oh, the shadow I want black. And we did that for the rings. I want it more, you know, this angle. So about there. See that preview? And then this blur, you can not see anything. Let's see. Ah, I didn't have it selected. Rocket scientist here, people. There, now you can see it. There you go. Here, just play around with that till you're happy. Let's put our background back on. And there you have it. So get ready. The next one is going to be getting this all together. We will put all of our tabs back on and our pages in paper and export them all as images that we'll then use in Keynotes. So see you next time. Bye.